Tom. I love this rig, by the way. It's a good start. It really is. It's just impressive. So I'm going to go over here and grab Tom's main joint, okay? Watch what happens if I hit this. It just shut it off over there. Did you see the middle?
Yeah, that's good.
So how am I going to select it other than going to my... The other way I can do this is I can go to my Windows Outliner right here. I'm going to create a little button here for it. So if I come over to my Windows Outliner right here and I open this up, I can go through and grab all these joints and then turn them on one at a time, or...
You can also right-click on it and select hierarchy.
That is correct. You can also select hierarchy through that way, but I love having my little buttons, so I'm old. But check that out. So Tom, tell me what's going on.
So the X is pointing down the chain to the child, and the Y is opposing gravity when possible.
Good. Good job. But you're going to have a dickens of a time with this. And I'm going to show you why. So let's say Sam Howard comes in. You've got some neat controls here and stuff like that. And I'm going to grab this one and do my little select dash. Oh wow, look, select hierarchy also works on anything. Old man. So watch what happens when I rotate this guy. Looks like he's doing something.
Looks like my spine.
Oh my goodness, do you know what's going on here? Oh my goodness, the more I do this, it's just, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened to him? You did a great job on this. Okay, don't want you to feel embarrassed, by the way. You did a wonderful job on this. But what happened is you forgot one of the bigger rules in rigging. I'm just kidding, I'm totally fine. All right, guess what happens in Maya natively with a joint? With its rotation axis. What direction does Maya face?
Well, is there no limits to it? It just let you...
There are no limits, but natively, what is the format? What is the actual? Let's drop in a joint and find out, shall we? You guys should understand this by the time I drop this. By the way, I hate going up here and doing create joint again. I'm just going to pop it over here. I know they have a palette for it, but I'm going to do this several times because I want you guys to create yourself tools that will make things faster for you. So, by the way, this joint's super duper small, I know. And if I come over here and I look at the local rotation axis right here, now, can I change that by default? Yes, I can do that in the Create Joints tool, but Maya immediately starts with what?
Y facing up.
Y facing up, because I haven't put a parent or a child on there. Once I put a child on there, what's going to happen to the x-axis? Why is that?
Because it's awesome. Primary.
It's awesome. Yes, nice. Okay, look over here. In our tool settings, we have the primary axis set to X. What happens if I change this to Y? And I come back over here and drop a new joint. All right, let's go in here and put our local rotation axis. What do you mean? It didn't work.
Because you don't have a child on it. It's
Okay, well, let's create another one, and let's now parent these two. By the way, you should never do joints like this. Okay, let's go over here, and I'm going to hit that. Let's turn it on. Why is it freaking out on me?
You placed it in perspective mode.
Oh, thank you. Oh, good man. So, what did I tell you never to do?
Not use perspective mode.
Not use perspective mode when you are dropping in joints. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's go another one. 1 and 2. And then let's check these. Look how big they got. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Thank you,
You can
Maya.
do plus and minus, can't you, on the keyboard?
You can. I've got it set to highest because I need it to be that big. So, look at this. We kind of set things differently here. Why is Y now this? Let's go back and let's look. So, inside our, skeleton oriented. I'm super tired, guys. So, what did I do?
Why is
Relative
your
to
primary?
primary access.
Why would I do that?
Because you're
Why?
tired?
Tired. No, and that is a good reason. Sometimes I might actually do it. Or, what if I'm using, for example, let's say I was using Old Mental Ray, which I'm so glad they killed. Why? Why would I need that? What's going to happen to me if I'm rendering in mental ray and I don't have Y up? Say it?
I just said bad things happen.
No, nothing's going to happen. It's a rendering engine. It doesn't care. I'm just checking to see how you are. Okay, but what if I have a huge animation and all of a sudden all of my stuff is being built in Y up?
Everything's gonna go screwy?
What's going to happen to if I bring it into the engine? And let's just say, okay, this does happen. I'm going to give you a true scenario. You might get a rock star of an environment artist, and he just is amazing, but he has no clue as to the direction that things need to be pointing. What is the default for all engines direction-wise up? You know this, guys. Come on.
Y points up.
No. No.
Z.
Z.
Oh, that's right.
Z is the default for every engine. Why is it then that I can import a model into Unity and it comes standing straight up?
Because it's following Z?
It's following Z. It doesn't really care what you do with your model. It's still going to go in Z, and it's just, all right, we're cool. Unity built into their engine the idea that you don't have to worry about that, okay? So don't panic. But in the olden days, I might need it in Y. By default, it's set to X, okay? And that's a good thing, unless I have to create stretchy spine or things like that. So let's, oh, I did it again, sorry guys. Let's go and play for a moment. Okay, I'm going to create a spine. Okay, oh, let's get out here. I want to be a little bit more. Okay, bear with me. It's been a while since I have slept, and life can get really hard. Okay, I've created a spine system here. Not exactly a wonderful looking spine, but a spine nonetheless. Matter of fact, let's go back. Let me do this. We're not going to go through this right here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drop them straight on the place right here. And let's get one more just for fun. Now, in my outliner, okay, before I do anything else, let me get rid of all these other joints that I was going to play with, but we'll come back to them. So, I'm not saving this scene. Do you mind if I drop all that for right now? Nobody will have a problem with that. I'm not going to save it, promise you. You're probably going to be like, oh man, he's just going to kill this stuff. He is just going to kill. I'm going to turn off everything.
50 copies of it.
Okay, I'm going to sit down because I'm not going to be moving from this point for a long time. So, okay, guys, stand up for a moment. I hate sitting down. Get a nice stretch. It's going to be good for you. Because what we're going to do right now is turn on the water hose. Yeah, you're going to see it. All right, okay, sit down. If you need to jump up, you know, I'm totally cool if you guys want to stand up for a moment. If you're getting tired and stuff, I understand. I know you guys work. I know you guys have hard moments. So please, by all means. Okay, why have I created you the tool, the select hierarchy tool?
Because it's nice.
Yes, I can go over here and I can select hierarchy and all that stuff right down here. Okay, I can select all, I can select hierarchy, but that tool does not work for anything other than what? Joints. So I'm creating this little cool tool for you so that you guys can come over here. Oh, let's turn that off. And you can just run your little script. You can rename it, by the way, inside here to put hierarchy. I'm going to put on my stuff, and let's look at what happened when I created, let's hide a couple of these things right here. What happened right here with my joint chain? What's going on?
Well, X is pointing down the middle, but Y is not.
Y is trying to, or Z is your secondary axis in this.
Mm-hmm.
And so Z is trying to counteract gravity whenever it can.
Okay, this is a common problem. When you guys start dropping a whole bunch of stuff, it's going to just go wonky on you.
Yeah.
And the reason this is called, and this is an important thing for you guys to understand, it's called Gimbal. Despite all the years of coming up with ways to do stuff, we have yet to solve Gimbal. What is Gimbal? Does anybody know?
The rotation.
Okay, let's give you an example here. I have an arm like this, and I want it to rotate up front. Okay, so let's just say, for example, I'm rotating in the x-axis right here. Z is going down this way, Y is straight up. If I rotate here, shouldn't Z follow it?
Should.
Should, right?
does.
unless my orientations are wrong, and some of you aren't going to get this until you see it, okay? What will happen is all of a sudden I rotate my x-axis, and z and x now pancake together, and it's going, what do I do? I have no idea what you just did. And all of a sudden, you're inside there and you're doing this animation where a guy's up there and he's gonna, throw a punch and he goes, and you're like, what just happened to my arm?
Yeah.
Professor Marty, what's going on? Do you ever call him Professor Marty?
All the time. Nope.
Not.
Okay.
Sorry, Professor.
All right, sorry, I should have said nothing. There's a really neat tool in here called the Orient, joint tool, okay? Built into Maya after so many people had built their own scripts and finally they're like, oh great, we should actually put this in Maya. Okay, my primary axis, I don't want to change in this case, okay? I don't want to change it. I want it to stay the same. But I don't want my secondary axis to be in Y. I want it to be in Z. And I want the secondary axis to do world orientation. You're going to see why this all happens. When I hit apply, okay, I want you to remember this, if anything. One more thing that I want you guys. So what did we have to learn? Root, pelvis, all that stuff. Tonight I want you to remember in the orientation of the axes X, Z, and X. Okay? These are super important. Now, I use Z because what's going to happen here is a really interesting thing. We're going to create something.
Wait, why is the X twice?
X because our secondary axis world orientation is going to be up. And there's a reason as to that. Animators will love you. They will think that you, what's your name?
Wesley.
Wesley. Are there any girl animators in here? What's your name?
Megan.
Megan will come to you and kiss you and tell you, I love you. Do you know what you just did? You just created the ultimate spine for me. And we're going to show you how to do that tonight. So inappropriate. Okay. All right, so in our side view, shame on you. Why would you do that? Okay, guys, we're going to come in here. By the way, many of you guys have been wondering, how do I do cloth in Unity? Okay, there's two things I want you guys to understand. Unity, though it's a polygon pusher and you can do point data wrapping and stuff like that, not a good idea to have actual cloth dynamics in Unity if you're going to be making games and stuff like that. It's just intensive. Your art director will fire you. They will wonder why you didn't know these things. And so what we're going to do here today is we're going to show you how to create all that really cool stuff with some simple clicks. Okay? So first of all, what did I want you to remember?
X.
Correct. And then the next thing I want you guys to remember is how to annotate correctly. So we're going to go in here to the joint, and I'm just going to start with this bottom joint right here, and we're going to call this joint. Actually, let's call this one joint what?
Root.
Let's just call it root. That's good. I like that. Toot! Yikes. Whew, I told you guys I was tired. So this one I want to be joint 01. Ooh, I'm going to play Joy 01, Joe 01. Okay, I'm just going to do it, keep it simple on myself. And this one's going to be Joe 02. This one's going to be Joe 03. So let's go back. This one's going to be Joe 04. And our last one, Joe 05. Okay? These are important to remember, just annotating your stuff, because it's going to get huge and it's going to get a lot. So our first thing right inside here is we want to create something important. We want this thing to move and bend and do all the fun stuff. So before I can do that, I want to create, let's create a cylinder, okay? And I'm going to drop it right over the top of this thing just for our purposes that we're doing. Marty, if I'm getting long-winded, you just please let me know.
No, you're good so far.
Okay. Yikes. Sorry, I have all these weird hotkeys and stuff like that I'm used to. You're going to find as you get more and more into Maya and stuff like that, you're going to be like, I don't know what to do when I jump onto somebody else's Maya. And I'm like, what is your problem? It's the default. What is your problem? Okay, Okay, another one, you guys want you up here under your transfer, your stuff, I want you to have freeze transformations up here.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, oh, I keep dropping more than I should, so let's delete that one out. All right, so under your modify, I want you to have freeze transformations. I want you to have in here center pivot. Oops, I didn't do it. Hold on here, center pivot.
Shift C.
Control shift.
No, I mean, just center pivot, is that default or is that my other?
I don't know.
It has a default key. I like having it in there. Just go ahead and, I like
I
making it
can't
easy.
remember if I set it up or.
You're a hotkey guy, aren't you?
My last
Shift C
semester,
doesn't work.
Abel Perry made us do hotkeys.
Good, because they will speed up your life and make things really difficult for me. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here, actually I'm going to make this smaller. Let's just make it smaller because I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this. I want to have this in here. Let's go in and I'm going to duplicate this right here. So I'm going to get it about right there. If you notice, I'm kind of centering it on the joints a little bit, and I'm creating a semi-Tootsie Roll model, okay? A lot of you guys don't really know what a Tootsie Roll model is because it's old school. You might call it a control rig type model or something like that, where it's really light and things like that. And I'm going to go over here and start at this bottom one, and I'm going to call it root. Oh man, I'm telling you. That cat's I'm sorry.
I was afraid you were gonna say we didn't know what Tootsie Rolls were, and I was gonna say, I know who Mr. Allen was.
I'm calling that root ha. All right, I'm gonna call this Sil 01, and I'm just gonna go down. Remember, once again, we're talking about making sure that you annotate as you go along. You always wanna make sure you do this. It will save your life. You will be happy. People will lodge your name. You might even get a recommendation. Because of how simple and clean your stuff is. So what I'm going to do just for fun here is I'm going to parent root ha to the root. Right there. Oh, how simple was that? Let me pull up my outliner. It's getting kind of cluttered. I'm going to drop in this one right here. I'm going to drop in the, by the way, how you don't have to parent this stuff like I'm doing right here. I'm only doing this because, oh, did I mess up? Hold on here. Hold on. Yep. Oh, we don't need an extra one, do we? Did I grab Sam? Bad boy. Let me just make sure I got the right one. That one goes to that one. That one goes to that one. That one's going to that one. And where am I? Right here. I'm in 4. Oh man, Marty, I shouldn't have done this late. I'm just parenting these. By the way,